Hey guys, welcome to another video, and in this one it's all good news because the market is getting a bounce. Details next. Also, we're going to go through the new mints for the MGLE and the Base set Series 2 moments, and the CEO Roham dropped into the office hours, dropped a lot of positive news bombs for us. We are going to go through and analyze that as well. Let's get straight into it. Hey guys, welcome to another video. Firstly, I want to start off with some positivity. I was given this moment just out of appreciation for making videos, which blows my mind still. And it was actually this Steph Curry one, which I procrastinated on. I don't want to embarrass him by naming him, but I just wanted to say that I'm very appreciative. It still blows me away that people actually watch these videos, let alone get value and want to actually give me stuff, which I don't expect, nor am I asking for. So thank you. I will cherish this moment. This was one that I procrastinated on buying, and it was a hell of a time to be gifted that because the price of it has actually bumped up to where I was scanning it. Not that I'm going to sell it. We'll get more into the price of Cool Cats moments later and the market in general, which is seeing a bit of a lift. We're going to go through a few updates and a lot of updates that we got from Roham in the Office Hours Discord and how I actually interpreted some of those things and what that means for us as early adopters. So let's get into it. I did secondly also want to mention that have you noticed this feature in the marketplace where when you're searching for items, it shows you how many that you own right then and there. You can see this is Patty Mills just as an example, and it shows you I've got 5 of those ones and 1 of these ones, which is really good because I, owning around 100 moments, lose track of what I've actually got, especially the ones that I don't care about that I've received in packs, which, you know, could be trade tickets or whatever. It's good to know that I've got certain moments while you're searching through things. So I reckon that'll be handy moving forward, and I keep forgetting to mention it in videos. Update on the MGLEs, they have been minted. So that means we know who they all are. And they are as such: Kevin Durant, Robert Williams III, Darius Garland, Josh Richardson, Nikola Jokic, Saddiq Bey, Draymond Green, Sabonis, Paul George, Taylor Horton-Tucker, Jaren Jackson Jr., Bam Adebayo, Terrence Ross, Tyrese Maxey, Tyrese Halliburton, Gary Trent Jr., Jordan Clarkson, Bradley Beal, Kyrie Irving, and LeBron James look like they are the challenge rewards for these MGLE sets. So there are 20 MGLEs that have been minted. 2 will be challenge rewards. Pretty good rewards. LeBron might have been better if they hadn't just got knocked out of the playoffs, but it is what it is. The Nets, I don't think, are quite done yet. Having said that, Milwaukee aren't going to be a pushover. We also have 5 new Base set Series 2 moments that were minted as well, which presumably will be a part of these packs. We had Mike James. It's a 3-pointer for the Brooklyn Nets. We have Sabin Lee. I actually, truthfully, don't even know who he is. We've got Armani Brooks, Doug McDermott, and an Anthony Simons block. And we've got a few Top Shot debuts: Mike James, Armani Brooks, Doug McDermott at 12,000 LE, and Anthony Simons' block will be 40,000 CC. So those are the new moments. Now you're up to speed. Let's get to what Roham discussed in the office hours. It's a really good listen, actually. Usually I wouldn't recommend going to the office hours and listening to it, but I actually really enjoyed listening to the office hours because Roham speaks really clearly, and obviously being at the top of Dapper, he just obviously knows his stuff. It was really interesting to get his perspective this time around. So let's get into what was said today. They soon plan to experiment with teams in arena benefits from collectors, and he also shouted out that he wanted to know what we thought. What do we want from arena experiences? Do we want to be shouted out on the Jumbotron, or do we just want a free beer? I think it's the latter, but also some merchandise would be pretty good. Tickets to a game from Australia would also be appreciated. Once moments are able to be transferred to non-custodial wallets, they anticipate third-party platforms to build apps that allow borrowing against moments and fractional ownership. So fractional ownership could be if you do a challenge together, you could get the rewards together and have fractional ownership of that reward. Something like that. It opens up a whole new world of complications as well as opportunities. This stuff isn't imminent, but it's a really interesting discussion on what Top Shot could look like in years to come, which is really interesting. Staking your moments is something they would like to implement in the future. By the way, I need to shout out Jake and Bake NFT. I'm working off his notes again. Staking moments is something they would like to implement in the future. Locking your assets up for a certain time period to earn a reward. Examples of rewards could be a bonus to the collector score, access to special pack drops, etc. It's something that I said was completely possible, and burning moments in Top Shot will inevitably happen. And he put it in the context of in 10, 20 years time, the 40k moments might look scarce, and they might look back and say, why did we burn these moments? It was so early in our journey. They believe it's way too early, basically, to burn moments, but it's embedded in the programming of building that flow blockchain. The capability is absolutely there. So it's not like Top Shot have anything against burning moments. It just hasn't happened yet. Will Dapper ever consider distributing a portion of the 5% marketplace fee back to any moment holders? He said yes. Then there was an awkward silence. Any implementation could be done retroactively. I don't think this is imminent, but it's good that they're thinking about that. It's been brought up a lot, as in, for high value transactions, 5% is actually quite a lot. Should that be less? So, and it is on other platforms like eBay and so on and so forth. It was asked why they chose to make the Cool Cats perks also available to any member who completes the Cool Cats challenge now, after the Master Challenge is actually finished and LaMelo Ball has been distributed. They rationalize it like this. They chose to make the Cool Cats Master Challenge bonus perks apply to those who hold the moments instead of those who completed the challenge while it was live, in order to embed utility in the moments themselves. It allows the perks to be transferable from collector to collector. Now, let's see if that has worked. So far, this is when the challenge ended on June the 1st. All the moments were around $1,600 and around $1,650. After the challenge, they immediately dropped to $920. Since then, we've seen nothing but a steady rise back to $1,700. So, thus far, I have to say, it's working. These moments are getting a bit of a bounce. One, probably from these office hours, like the whole market cap, which I'll get to in a bit. But two, the utility is still live. Now, yeah, Luka isn't exactly what he was. He's currently at $600, and he used to be $7,500, $8,000, but everything was overvalued back then. And recently, we haven't really seen a bump in stuff. So you'd have to say at this point, they were right. Dapper has the ability to add more functionality to moments in the future. Example, players digitally autographing the moment. Now, we know this is going to be a really good idea. There's lots of NBA players involved in Top Shot, so that being a reward, imagine having a favorite player sign one of your moments. That would immediately maybe even make it like a number one. Depending on how that could get implemented, that is really, really mouthwatering. They are looking into ideas to reward high dollar marketplace spenders. Okay, that's good. If you're investing a lot of money into the platform, no digs on whale talk or anything like that, but if you're spending a lot of money, you probably deserve a few perks here and there. Website features. Before they end the ability to purchase moments in bulk, they first need to implement a bid or offer system. So the question was asked, should we be able to buy in bulk? I think this comes back to, if they start doing that, it might open it back up to the bots. But a bid and offer system definitely makes things, it's been mentioned lots and lots of times, and it definitely makes things more organic. So if people start listing things that are too inflated and they get offers, lower, then they will know what the market value is without having to, risk offering it up for lowest ask. And lowest ask is definitely a skew on a marketplace. If you need something sold, you tend to have to list it for the lowest ask. You'll eventually be able to sell entire sets as one or show them off as one. Cool, happy with that. I guess this comes in line with selling packs as one, unopened packs on the marketplace. Selling sets is a natural progression from that. Emphasize that collector score is not a finished product. We'll continue to tweak it, and it'll be interesting to see the upcoming tweak when we get the hollow icon version as well. Goal is for 90% of withdrawals to be instant. Cool. They'd like to add more withdrawal options. Wire transfers worldwide, ACH deposits / withdrawals in the US, withdrawal to your own credit card, withdrawal on Flow Wallet. PayPal was even mentioned in the actual. That would be awesome for me. I'd love to have some PayPal integrated into this. Percentage of accounts that are withdrawing are at an all-time low. It made it sound like to me that there's a lot of Dapper in a lot of accounts that are relatively inactive right now, whether they're waiting for withdrawals, waiting for a better market, who knows. But I think that's encouraging. If they start getting activated again, we're on. Series 3 will have a transparent content roadmap. Yeah, this was said before. Hardcourt, which is the mobile game, anyone will be able to access through the App Store. They don't see Hardcourt as an additional feature, but a foundational piece of the Top Shot ecosystem. Currently in testing, no timeline at the moment. They really want to get that one right, they were talking about. They don't want to rush it to market. Soon it will evolve from where it's at now to evolve to testing with Top Shot users, and then further and further on from there. They've added an economist to the team. They will they will provide economic updates in future office hours. Cool, I think that would be relevant and handy. Economy fixes and new user experience are currently the top priorities. Focus will eventually shift to how can Top Shot enhance the fan experience. We spoke about that briefly at the beginning in games and so on. They really want Top Shot to be what displays the level of fandom for the NBA that you are. But this is probably the first time formally they've said that economy fixes are one of their priorities. So I just think that that's good that they're thinking about that really hard and it's one of their priorities. Previously, it's been a lot of new user experience, which was mentioned again, fair, but economy fixes is good for us who are already involved. Not that I want to be too selfish because it is a long-term project, but I just thought it was very interesting that that was really top of the pile at the moment. The Top Shot product is not ready for mainstream adoption yet. So this came into context about marketing. They've done some marketing. We'll see some more. It'll be experimental. There was an NBA retweet the other day on the official Twitter accounts. It wasn't much, but it was something. They sort of expanded and said if you've got marketing in games at the moment, that would be mainstream users you'll be bringing in. Whereas growing the community that we have now through the avenues that we have now and social media, they will bring in techies that are more likely to get into the NFT space. And then eventually we will evolve into marketing towards the mainstream users. By then, our processes and our onboarding experience will be bang on and seamless for those people who are unsure about the technology of blockchain, unsure about NFTs and all of that. They just want to get involved, show their fandom and buy some cool highlights. That I think is a transition, not a race. So some people are getting frustrated in that they're not doing all that they can, but at the same time, when things happened before they were ready in February, the site went down all the time and we had to deal with that. In regards to NBA licensing agreement, Dapper has already secured what they wanted in the deal. They didn't want to reveal any details of that, but collectors will be happy with what they have secured. And eventually they expanded and said we'll get a release through the proper avenues about those details. Nothing right now yet. I wanted to finish by sort of reflecting on having Roham in the Discord seemed to be a huge advantage. It seemed to instill a lot of people with confidence and positivity. I didn't really see many people slamming Top Shot or being negative on office hours. Like sometimes it can be because withdrawals are lagging on or something like that, like it had been previously. He seemed to instill a lot of confidence in people. And I think that's kind of been reflected in the market cap right now. If you look at this graph, there's a boost in the market cap, a bounce. Just for argument's sake, this is Flow Market Cap's graph. It doesn't look as impressive when you compare it to February, but if you zoom into recent history, all of a sudden, we're seeing a significant bounce from what we saw a few days ago, which is the most encouraging sign we've seen for probably a couple of months now. So it's amazing what can happen when you get the CEO in an office hours being transparent, talking candidly, and giving us a bit of confidence. So credit to him. Thank you for doing that, Roham. And right now, just like this Steph Curry that was gifted to me, everything's getting a bit of a bounce right now. Anyway, that's it from me. Please consider liking and or subscribing if you got any value out of this video. I would love to also hear your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. Other than that, have a good day. I'll see you in the next video. See ya.